Hello, loyal fans. This is an update specifically for the Amazons. I've been airbrushing, and specifically airbrushing with these Pro Acryl paints and the Infinity CR Plus from Harder and Steenbeck. So I started with I started with a 4mm needle and then went to the 2. Got really annoyed at the 2. It is finer detail, but it's just so annoying when you have to thin the paint down so much, and I should just get used to it, but got too frustrated too quickly. Went back to the 4 and it's so much easier. Anyways, these paints, I haven't actually used this one yet. They're pretty interesting. They're incredibly thick, and they're great for airbrushing as long as you add a ton of thinner to them. Usually I've been using these Model Air from Vallejo, and they're also good because I can basically just pour it into the airbrush even without thinner, and most of the time it works well. But the Pro Acryl can do a better job. I tried this white, it's terrible. So I'm wondering about this one, but I haven't actually gotten to the white yet. Basically all the dinosaurs are, because there's like a bunch of dinosaurs and stuff in this army. I'm trying to pick up one of them. But anyways, you can see what the wings are. Basically all these dinosaur pieces in the Stegodon, which is going to be part of this Engine of the Gods / Avatar of Rig. It's like black skin, same with those cold ones, with red. Red that like it's highlighted to orange. And I've been airbrushing highlighting that slowly, and I kind of like how it looks on the Stegodon. Honestly, that's pretty good. The brown is just slightly highlighted once. Like that's fine. That's going in the right direction. With these though, I don't know. It's still really dull and dark. It's a matte finish, and I almost want it to be a little glossier. Not necessarily for the dinosaur or for the wings themselves, but other parts of them, like normal skin, especially for these guys, probably want them to look a little slimy or aquatic. And yeah, I'm trying to get a red with orange highlight like look on the scales, and it's not really working that well. With these ones, I'm not really sure. The next process to do is go to the translucent. I bought the entire translucent range, and it sounds like a good idea. I just have tested one of them out. It was on this model because I was trying to use the red. The red was more like a pinkish red, and what you actually see here is the Flesh Terror's red contrast paint, because I just prefer that. I think that's a better base for it, and it's more along the red kind of dark that I'm looking for. Not that most of these are going to be red, it's most of like a green brownish nature color. This green is 2 different colors from Pro Acryl, black green and camel green. Camel green was the last one, and I kind of do like it. There's little bits of brown as well in them. I don't want to pick up these models because they break every single time. We're going to these, like, that's kind of the basic colors of the army. These are kind of the elite, kind of the core unit that looks pretty cool. So I'm a fan of this. Obviously they're nowhere near done. They need lots of highlights, but that's alright, especially on the banner. There's kind of highlights, there's kind of not, and it looks kind of like a natural green without being just a single shade of green. I should highlight it even more, but I'm not really sure how much more highlighted I want that green to be. I want this army to look dirty and camouflaged. Not with like a green banner that has brown and gray camouflage-ish color. I think I want that banner to be completely green, but they're supposed to blend into the mud. The skin colors are going to be dark in either African, not South African, or South American. So they're going to be hard to see except for their weapons. Like these little halberds, I think there's an option to make them like magical and like shoot beams of light or something. And some of the Mordheim girls have like pistols and stuff. Basically all their weapons might look magical and shining blue and stuff and glint through the forest canopy, and everything else is just dark and hard to see. That's the idea of this. And I'm not sure if I'm necessarily going in the right direction. Anyways, with all these colors, all these Pro Acryls, the surprising thing that I love about them, but also I'm beginning to hate, I airbrush them, and it looks like, let's say this red, it looks like a bright red, and I wait a couple minutes for it to dry, and it's a really dark red and hard to see. And then I do it again with the highlights, and then I do it again with another highlight. I basically have to do at least 2 thin coats of each one of these to make it kind of look duller than what I'd intended, which is good. It's great if I'm really trying to take my time. And I really should try and take my time. It's just I'm also experimenting with these at the same time. So I kind of like how all of these pterodons are looking. That would be 4 of them with the Amazons, and then there's an extra 3 in there, which will have skink riders, and they'll be part of the lizardman army, but I may end up using them for these guys. Who knows? Doesn't matter. I'm just painting them at the same time. Same with the stegodon that will also be used for the lizardman. And then, yeah, the Avatar of Rig part, I'm not really sure about either. Wondering about that brown. It'll probably be more of like a clayish stone color, which I'm okay with. So probably highlight that zenithal above brown and then contrast over it. I don't know yet. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of the progress so far. And then you can see the other core, like the blowpipe troops. There's 30 of them over there. Yeah, the greens, not really sure about the tons of things I need to do with them, but that's okay. And then the only other progress of the Nippon is that I finished assembling the, 40 Ashigaru spears, and then 30 with bows. However, I don't have bases for them, so I'm just waiting for that. That's the giant gap in that line. Oh yeah, also put those 2 models together. They kind of look cool. And was slowly going back into painting these 3, which I didn't do the metal parts for, and that standard is still not there. Just an important, and the bases aren't, too many things to do. Anyways, that's been like 3 days of airbrushing, hurting my wrist quite a bit, but I do love that airbrush. Final thoughts, Pro Acryl are awesome. I really like them, and I do really like this Infinity CR Plus. But we'll see. We'll see about the next step of the translucence. I haven't tried those yet, and I think adding a bit of yellow, according to what I saw in one video, adding a bit of yellow to this green will, just as the transparent, will really liven it up. Maybe with the red and orange too, but I'm hesitant. I think I should just redo that again, or put a translucent black over all of them, make it darker, and then redo the red in, much brighter. We'll see. Anyways, happy wargaming. See you soon.